Welcome my broskis to this video. Today we're gonna talk about the brand new horror RPG Stygian Outer Gods, developed by Mysterial Games, which is kind of a developer that came out of nowhere and is currently developing two horror immersive sim RPG games. I don't know why they're currently developing two, and since they have no record of developing games prior to it, maybe they should put all their focus into one and then the next one. I don't know. I don't know how big of a studio it is. There's literally no information on them out there, so I don't have much to spoil. But it is being published by Fulcrum Games, and that is a well-known publisher for boomer shooters like Diluvian Ultra, Dread Templar, Forgive Me Father 1 and 2, Handsome Necromancy. Yeah, it's a good publisher that's got a good record of boomer shooters. But today, we're not here to talk about that. We're not here to talk about boomer shooters either. We're here to talk about a game that takes a lot of inspiration from games like Resident Evil 7. In many ways, it felt just like playing Resident Evil 7 or 8, but I would say that Stygian Outer God is a bit more punishing. It's a bit more slower paced, and it doesn't have any jump scares, but holy hell is it scary. Holy shit is it scary. I was constantly scared. My daughter, my son, my wife, all of them managed to scare me as I was playing it because I was constantly so tense when I was playing this. Now let's dive into a little bit why. Now, the story of the game unfolds in actually many different ways. It both has dialogues with different characters, there's tons of notes to find and read, and there's also plenty of environmental storytelling in this one. Now, the weird thing about this is that some of the dialogues are voice acted, and then for the same character later on, there is no voice acting. I mean, the game goes for this realistic look, it has great graphics, it has great audio overall, but I don't understand why not push it all the way with the immersiveness. Why not add in voice acting for all the dialogues? Like, you have the voice actor and everything ready because it has been voice acted prior to this.
Jack? Are you quite alright? I hope you don't mind me barging in. I heard the most dreadful shouting.
And then they just cut it out. I don't know why, I don't know if it's any early access thing or not, but it was weird. It was weird, and I don't understand why they did that. It's not game breaking, or it's not gonna change my opinion on the game or anything like that. It's just weird, okay? Now, what is told through these dialogues and notes and environmental storytelling is a lot of things. It's a 1,000-year-old story that needs to be unfolded as we play this game. We play in this harbor town where the plague of Cthulhu is currently ravaging the citizen, the folks of the town, and everyone has turned into monstrosities. Animals and such have also turned into mutant beings. But there is a lot of different events unfolding in this one. Sometimes we enter this otherworldly dimension and we have to do a little bit of puzzling to get out of it, and then there is a flooding of the whole town, and all of these events, they unfold in a great pace. Always making it so that you don't forget whatever it is that you read in that note or whatever dialogue that you had, because there is plenty of them, but it's paced in a way that you don't forget the smaller details, making these events kinda hit hard. And this is where I would have liked to see more relatability. Like the characters that we talk to, one of them, literally one of them, or actually one and a half you could say, are normal people that you can relate to. All the other, they're like spirit men, otherworldly creatures and things like that you can't really relate to in any shape, way or form at all, making me not really care for them. They don't have very interesting stories to tell me, they don't hook me with their personality or anything like that. Most of them are not voice acted, few of them are in certain moments of the game. What I'm trying to say is, mostly the environmental storytelling and the events that unfolded is what really hooked me and sucked me into this universe when it comes to the story. The dialogues and the way that some of it is voice acted, some of it is not, and some of the notes are kinda just fillers that don't really add anything to the story is a bit meh. But the notes, they don't just stop at story. Oh no, some of the notes actually contain hints and tricks for you to uncover secrets or solve puzzles and so on and so forth. But the good thing here is, not all the notes are filled with endless amount of text. They're easy to read, and it's also bolded out, so that what it is that you should not skip in that note is highlighted. You will see what you have to read to uncover that secret or mystery or puzzle that is in front of you. And I simply love when games do it like that. Because sometimes you're like, okay, I really want to read every single word in this note. And sometimes you're like, I'm a bit stressed here. I want to progress in the game. I don't really care for that person that is laying on the ground or whatever he had to say. I just want to know what I need to know. So I love it when games do that. Now the weapons in the game, they are not plentiful in this first early access. So far I got 4 melee weapons, and I mean they work. You can block, you can do a charge attack, and you can attack from behind, dealing more damage, and you can go head front. But the thing is here, the enemies, they are freaking hard. Oh my god, they are hard. I died so many times before I got into the flow of the combat. Like literally, I almost gave up on the game before I even got started. It's hard. It's a hard game. Much in the lines of games like Blood West. Extremely hard, very stealth focused. But then comes the firearms, and that really changes up the combat. Like, you need to get into the flow of the melee to actually progress in this, or you're screwed. But don't give up, because it is very possible. Just remember that you can turn away, you can run away, you can block, and you have certain talents that you can unlock as you progress through the game. Unlock the talents that you think that you will benefit the most from, judging from your playstyle. Don't go for whatever you think sounds the strongest. You need to really pick the ones that fits your playstyle. Because if you don't use these talents, you're gonna struggle through this game. You're gonna struggle big time. At least if you're me. Now the firearms, they are lifesavers. They are really good. The ammo, the health, the bandages, everything like that is super scarce in the game, so do aim for the heads. But that's the least of my problems. So when the firearms actually came into picture, yes, they help a lot. Just don't waste them on enemies that are easy to kill with the melee. Waste the bullets on the enemies that needs the bullets in their heads, if you know what I mean. Now the weapons, they're unfortunately not upgradable. What you see is what you get. But there is a handful of them in this first early access version. But the thing is, all of them, they are very different from one another. But they don't have any stats. So it's almost impossible knowing which one is better than the other one. It's really just trial and error here to pick the one that fits your playstyle the best. For me personally, once I got the axe, that was my go-to melee weapon. Now, as I said, you also have some talents that you can unlock, and here is where the RPG mechanics come into play with this game. So it's not like you gain XP or anything like that, but if you're good enough at hunting down secrets and doing exploration, which this game heavily focuses on, you will come across almost like tarot cards. In those cards are new talents for you to unlock, and it can be everything from unlocking a charged attack, unlocking more damage when stabbing someone from behind, being more silent in stealth, and so on and so forth. Things that really do help. So do look for these cards. It is more than worth it, and it will make the game easier for you, or more manageable. Now, apart from that, we have our standard Resident Evil inventory system. We pick up cloth to make bandages, we pick up gunpowder to make bullets for our revolver. We have different mushrooms that helps with our sanity. We have different syringes to help boost the stamina for a short period of time, and so on and so forth. You all know that drill already, and all of that is here. And it's done well. It's done really well. I feel like the inventory is well balanced. It's as big as it should be, and you also have storage where you can place crafting materials and so on and so forth as you collect and you want to make space in your inventory. So it's done well. It's done well. Nothing innovative or fresh or anything like that. We've seen it before, but it's done as it should be done. But talking about storage, that actually brings me to the safe areas, because that's where the storages are located, and that is where you can save. So this game doesn't auto-save for you. There isn't any checkpoints or anything like that. If you die, you restart from your latest save, and there are save points in those safe zones, and that is the only time that you can save. Would I say that they are well balanced? For the most part, yes. Yes, they are. You don't have to backtrack an abnormal amount if you die. Some areas are more generous with these save mirrors, and others, they're not as generous. So, I mean, it brings up the tension. It definitely brings up the tension on this already very hard combat. Like, if you fuck up, you might have to pay for it. And that brings up the tension levels very, very high sometimes, and also adds to the horror of it all. Like, you are scared. You're literally super scared of these enemies because you know that they can kill you, and if you die, you're gonna have to pay for it. So in a game like this, I think that this is the right way to do it because it adds to the horror of it all. And I mean, that's not the only horror in this game. The atmosphere, holy maca freaking roni balls and shit balls. This game's atmosphere is it's through the roof. It's through the mother flipping roof. The graphics, they are super well done. The audio is just in line with that when it comes to the ambient sounds, to the sound of combat, to the sound of the monsters, how they screech and how you can hear them when you can't even see them. It just brings so much tension and horror to it all. It's crazy sometimes. And I played this during bright daylight. I actually played for 7 hours in one sitting during daylight like you see it here now. And I was scared. I was scared almost throughout the whole freaking shit. And most of that atmosphere doesn't just come from the audio and how crazy the enemies are, but also from the level design, because it's really, really good. It cramps you into these tight, dark areas to more open town square areas where you can actually see some small sunlight coming through the clouds up above, but with constant dread in your head because you don't know what is lurking behind that big pile of planks that has been destroyed thanks to the crazy shit that has gone down into this town. And the best part, it's all interconnected. Like, it is an open zone where you're able to thread as you like. It's like free roam, but as you progress, you unlock new abilities, new weapons, which will make you able to access this or that area that you couldn't access before, but it never puts you in loading screens where you have to wait to load the new area or anything like that. It's all open and you can backtrack as you please. And we also have a map to actually help us out, but it feels like you are the one solving it and not the game solving it for you. It's done superbly well. And it's not overly big or anything like that. It's quite easy going from point A to point B, and it doesn't feel like a walking simulator in any sense. Now, I've touched on the graphics a couple of times already, but they are fantastic. It's using the Unreal Engine and they've used it right. But it needs more optimization. It doesn't run well. I'm running it on a beast of a PC, a 4080 Super with 32 gigs of RAM and a very good processor, and I am struggling to run it. Even on the high settings. Not the highest, but high. I can play it on the highest, but it chugs. It chugs all the time. And on high settings, you can feel how the game is constantly loading this or that area without putting you in a loading screen, because it starts chugging all the time, and it happens way, way too often. So it badly needs optimization to run better. Now, to round it up, I know some of you play the other Stygian games, Stygian Reign of the old ones, and while I haven't played it, I can tell you it's not the same developer behind it, but it is the same publisher, so the two universes being connected is highly likely. In what way, shape or form, I don't know. Outer Gods, however, is overall a perfect example of how to take the Resident Evil 7 formula, slap your own makeup on it, and create a fantastic experience, from the smallest of details to the biggest of nerve-wracking moments. It's well worth the 20 buckaroonies it's asking for. The experience is unforgettable. It's a masterwork of survival horror, and most of all, remember that Papa Slim loves ya, and I will see you in the next one. Over and out.